acquaint the engineering aspirants with the scope and opportunities of various branches of engineering so that they can take an informed decision by a way of panel discussion amongst industry experts from various domains. On occasions like this webinar, I cannot help recalling Shri APJ Abdul Kalam's inspirational words. If four things are followed, having a great aim, acquiring knowledge, hard work, and perseverance, then anything can be achieved. Same stands true for our engineering aspirants as well, when they are looking forward to a new joyful journey of engineering after their years of hard work in laying their foundation during the schooling days. It is a matter of great privilege for all of us that the esteemed guests for today's panel discussion are Mr. Abhay Phansikar, Corporate Strategy and Technology Consultant Advisor, ASWEN Technologies Mumbai, Ms. Harshula Tulapurkar, Senior Manager Datamatics Mumbai, and Mr. Monish Jadhav, Multi-Domain IT Healthcare Architect, Unilabs UK. I heartily welcome you all to the webinar. I also extend a warm welcome to the esteemed dignitaries gracing this occasion, the visionary leaders of Team Vidyalankar, and each and every participant who has joined our event. Vidyalankar Institute of Technology has always been actively involved in organizing international and national events, which brings everyone together with different perspectives and expertise. And this panel discussion is yet another opportunity for academia and industry to collaborate to bring the best of educational practices for our student community. Moving ahead, I would like to brief you all about our Vice Principal, Professor Varsha Bhosle, an Associate Professor in the Department of Information Technology. She works in close association with the Principal in handling significant communication and documentation responsibilities with various external regulatory and accreditation bodies such as AICTE, Directorate of Technical Education Maharashtra, University of Mumbai, NBA, and NAC. She also looks into fulfilling the requirements of the institute as well as supervises the overall functioning of multiple committee activities and campus events at the institute. As Professor Varsha ma'am is occupied in important official commitments, I, on behalf of ma'am, will read her address for you all. Very good morning and warm welcome to one and all. Honorable guest speakers for today's guidance webinar on Engineering Admissions 2023, aspiring engineering students and their parents joining from various locations, members of Vidyalankar, and my staff colleagues. I, on behalf of myself and Vidyalankar Institute of Technology, extend a warm welcome to our guest speakers, Shri Abhay Phansikar, Shri Monish Jadhav, and Ms. Harshula Tulapurkar, and the August gathering for the guidance webinar on Engineering Admission 2023. VIT is grateful to all respected speakers for being with us today in spite of their busy schedule. I take this opportunity to give brief overview of the institute. Vidyalankar Institute of Technology is run by Vidyalankar Jnanpith Trust, which has its genesis in the Vidyalankar Group of Educational Institutes and is committed to achieving excellence in education. VIT was established in the year 1999 under the dynamic leadership of late Professor Chandrasekhar Deshpande. The institute started its journey with 3 undergraduate engineering courses with the objective to provide scholarly, conducive environment for holistic development of its learners. Currently, the institute offers 5 undergraduate engineering courses, namely Information Technology, Computer Engineering, Electronics and Computer Science, Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, and Biomedical Engineering. 2 postgraduate engineering courses, namely Computer Engineering and Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, a postgraduate course in Management Studies, and 2 doctoral programs in Computer Engineering and Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. The institute was awarded with A grade certification by Maharashtra state government in the year 2005. The institute is accredited by TCS and has several MOUs with leading organizations. All the 5 undergraduate engineering programs are accredited by National Board of Accreditation. The institute is recognized under 2F and 12B UGC Act. In March 2019, the institute has achieved accreditation with an A+ grade from NAAC with a score of 3.41. Institute has digitally enabled learning environment through excellent ambience to meet the needs of the millennials, competent and passionate faculty, and social commitments with outreach activities. With the autonomous status granted by UGC and University of Mumbai, the institute has got the power of academic autonomy in which institute can prescribe its own syllabi. These courses can be restructured and redesigned to suit industry changing needs and as per national and global standards. Apart from curricula, Institute regularly offers short-term courses, internships for the benefit of students. More emphasis is given on effective student engagement to enhance experiential learning. The Institute's student-friendly, uniquely designed infrastructure received internationally acclaimed Design Share Honor Award for Innovative School Design and Architectural Excellence in 2007. The state-of-the-art auditorium has won the top institutional theatre design at the Interior Design Best of the Year Awards in December 2014. The institute has received the Distinguished College Award at the TechNext India 2017 All Annual Academic Conference and Awards to Academia jointly organized by CSI Mumbai chapter in association with Spoken Tutorials FOSSEE at IIT Bombay. The institute has also been conferred with Best Institute Award for Innovative Pedagogical Approaches and Tools by CSI Mumbai chapter in their annual Industry Academia Conference and Awards TechNext India 2019. Recently, Institute has backed 4 research projects with funding of Rs 24 lakh from Technology Innovation Hub Internet of Things IIT Bombay under Chanakya Fellowship Program, and students and faculty are working on these projects. With vision of new education system of India given in National Education Policy 2020 and facilitation digitization provided by statutory bodies like UGC, AICTE, Directorate of Technical Education and University of Mumbai, efforts are made by all to strengthen higher and technical education in the country. The vision of New India of Honorable Prime Minister can only be achieved if we help each other and grow. This guidance webinar on engineering admission shall be a good place to understand technical know-how from the industry experts, engineering admission procedure, various engineering branches, scope, opportunities, challenges, emerging areas, and future trends in engineering. With this note, once again, I extend my heartfelt welcome to the panel experts, students, and parents, and hope that this webinar gives clear insights to engineering aspirants in deciding their engineering journey ahead. Thank you and good day. I thank ma'am for briefing the audience about some very important information which would really apprise our engineering aspirants. It is an honor to introduce our panelists for this webinar. We have with us today Mr. Abhay Phansikar. Sir has completed Masters in Electronics Engineering and is one of the senior members of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, which is the highest professional grade of IEEE that requires extensive experience and reflects professional accomplishment and expertise. He is a senior member IEEE, past chairman of IEEE Bombay section, and also a mentor on Startup Bootcamp, one of the top 3 global accelerators for startups. Mr. Phansikar has vast experience in the field of product development, embedded solutions, technical marketing, and turnkey offerings. He has developed various systems that include mission critical military grade systems, air traffic controller simulator, radar tracking systems, and healthcare ERP and portals. He has worked for various reputed organizations, namely Tata Power R&D, Onward Technologies, Tech Mahindra, Rave Technologies, and much more. He has performed variety of roles which include director, president, COO, chief technical architect in Indian and international organizations. Currently, he is associated as a corporate strategy and technology consultant advisor ACE1 Technology. He is also associated with education as an external faculty to engineering colleges and is on industry advisory board and board of studies of engineering colleges, project examiner, and undertakes lectures for skill and knowledge development as well as faculty development. Next, we have with us Ms. Harshula Tulapurkar, who is a highly accomplished software professional with an impressive career trajectory. During her professional tenure, she held significant roles at renowned IT companies such as Wipro, Satyam, and NextGenX, where she demonstrated expertise in various middle management positions. Apart from her corporate achievements, Ms. Harshula exhibited her passion for making a difference by devoting her time to working with the NGO Akanksha. Through her involvement, she contributed to the noble cause of providing primary education to underprivileged children, demonstrating her commitment to social responsibility. Ms. Harshula's academic accomplishments are equally impressive. She holds a diploma in electronics, where she excelled and was recognized as a university medalist. She has also been a rank holder with distinction in her bachelor's electronics engineering. Later, she pursued a master's degree in engineering from Mumbai University, graduating as the top performer in her batch in 2017. Her pursuit of knowledge and academic excellence continues as she currently works towards her PhD in hyperspectral image processing at IIT Bombay. Currently, Ms. Harshula holds the esteemed position of Senior Project Manager at Datamatics, leveraging her extensive experience and profound understanding of intelligent automation. She provides strategic guidance and drives successful pre-sales activities. Next, we have with us Mr. Moni Jadhav, who is an accomplished biomedical engineer hailing from Mumbai's TSEC with an extensive background in healthcare informatics, spanning nearly 3 decades in India and Europe. Currently in the UK, his expertise encompasses both clinical and research environments in healthcare IT. His recent achievements include architecting and implementing a groundbreaking multimodal healthcare data research environment centered around machine learning that facilitates pattern recognition across radiology images, digital pathology images, and genetics, thus paving the way for precision diagnostics and medicine. Additionally, he has played a pivotal role in orchestrating AI and ML model pipelines, enabling effective utilization of these cutting-edge technologies using Azure and AWS. He has also spearheaded the development of a microbiome platform for research and development, catering to renowned companies like Unilever and Cargill, which has resulted in the creation of personalized care products. Furthermore, he has extended his expertise to provide valuable consultancy services to startups and venture capitalists, ensuring optimal growth opportunities for these companies. Mr. Monith has managed to remain in the field of biomedical engineering and healthcare informatics with his unwavering dedication to position himself as a highly esteemed professional in the industry. We are deeply honored by the august presence of our guests, who have joined from far and wide, and we welcome all our guests today. Moving on, Dr. Amit Oak is the moderator for this session. I would like to brief you all about him. Sir is the Institute's Chief Operations Officer, Professor, and Head of the Department Management Studies. Sir had prior experience as Director of leading management institutes in Mumbai, with major stints at National Film Development Corporation as the Production Controller, Film Finance, and SDFC Asset Management Company, heading the retail channel. Sir has been researching and consulting in media and film finance ventures along with leading personalities in the industry like Jabbar Patel, Ajit Bhure, Sanjay Narvekar, Sunil Barve, to name a few. Passionate about the theatre and films, Sir has participated in theatre as an actor and also took up backstage responsibilities for more than 2,500 professional and amateur performances in India and abroad. Dr. Oak imparts many practical and result-oriented lessons in management to the student community and plays a very important role as a mentor of student council. I would now like to hand over the session to Dr. Amit Oak, sir.
Thank you, Mitali. Welcome students and the panelists and my dear colleagues from the Institute. It's indeed a pleasure to be here once again, and as an endeavor towards spreading information and knowledge, we, on the behalf of Vidyalankar Jnanapith Trust and Vidyalankar Institute of Technology, welcome all of you for this esteemed webinar. I hope all of you have gone through the media news, what are coming, and today itself, we got to know that out of the JEE pass students, top 100 students, around 89% have opted for IIT Mumbai, and all of them have opted for computer science as a course. So when we read such kind of news, it becomes a little, we become suspicious. What exactly is the future? Engineer karna hai, engineer banna hai, that is one part. But what exactly I should be doing? So what I'll be doing in this kind of session, when we have such esteemed people right from India to UK, what I will do, we'll start with Abhay sir. Let us all, Abhay sir, Monit and Harshula, we would, each one of us, we speak for around 7 to 10 minutes, giving an overview of their specializations, talking to students about the current trends, and then we'll start with the question answer sessions. So I hope, is it okay with everybody?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
That's right. Fine.
So yeah. Can you start with?
Yeah, so thank you, Amit sir, for giving me this opportunity. As you have kind of stated that computer science is becoming a demanding subject around, and there is this question in everyone's mind whether they should pursue computer science or pursue any other branch, and what happens if they don't get an admission in the branch that they desired, like computer science. So I'll tell you my experience first. I have been in the industry for almost 40 years now. First few years, I grew like a hardware and software engineer developing embedded solutions. Then I was involved in developing large turnkey solutions for defense, including something like an air traffic controller simulator. Went on to corporate life, was the group head of embedded solutions at Tech Mahindra. And then in the last few years, I have been associated with startups which have grown substantially. And they all are from different domains. So I've worked in defense, I've worked in healthcare, I've worked in financial, I've worked in HR, all these kind of industries. So to address first few kind of points on whether I should be doing computer science or some other branch. My suggestion is to have a branch that you like, whether it's electronics, whether it's IT, whether it's computer science. It really does not matter for you in your future career growth. If you are passionate about doing something, like my own nephew, a couple of years back came to me. He had a very good ranking, and he would have got admission everywhere, and everyone was behind him to get into the computer science. But he said, I love electronics. I mean, I love to play with devices, and that too, I want to be associated with some telecom industry also. So he took the EXTC branch, which was actually ranked third. And the principal of the college again called him and said, have you made a mistake in filling the form? Are you sure you want EXTC? Today he is doing excellent. One of the other students whom I'm guiding, he went into production, and today he is doing a lot of nice work in electronics on the sides while doing his engineering course. So in my opinion, taking a particular branch is not so critical as long as you are taking a branch which you like. And even if you don't get, say, computer science, or even if you don't get electronics or data science, you have to understand that the first 3 years of engineering, all of you will be doing common study. Most of the courses that you do are common. And then you start specializing around your stream. So while you're doing these courses, there are courses that are available on the sides. So even if you are, say, electronics and telecommunication student, and if computer science is your passion, you can do computer science courses on the side and gain proficiency in that. I, in my career, would have interviewed like thousands of students and employed thousands of students, including freshers and laterals. And my experience I'll share is what we look at in a particular person is the passion to do a particular job, the ability to deliver something and communicate well, the willingness to be a constant learner. So in the engineering industry, for you to grow, constant learning is essential. It's not like, okay, I've got my degree and now I'm going to enjoy all 30 years of my life. Or you can still do that. But probably if you're looking for career growth and aspiration, as Mitali madam initially said, you got to set an aim. You got to learn to whatever is required to reach that aim and persevere towards that. There's another very critical issue which students feel is the kind of salary when they are getting, when they are passing out. And they all keep listening that someone has got 1 crore annual package and someone has got 30 lakhs annual package. And few students do not wish to take a particular job, even if it's of their liking, because the packages are somewhere about 3.5 to 4 lakhs annual. What I'm telling you is the initial 1 to 3 years of your work life, the packages don't matter. Even if you make a whole lot of money or you make very less money, it's not critical. Whatever you do and how you deliver your work in the first 3 years will actually place you right next to the people who may have been earning a CR plus. And the people who earn that, there are very few in the industry. The average package is kind of much lower than those peaks that we hear of. So that shouldn't be a deterrent in you in selecting a branch or taking up a job, as long as it is something that you're going to like and you will be passionate about it. I think that's all I wanted to say in the initial introduction, and I'll pass on to Amit sir again for further deliberations.
Thank you, Abha sir. It was indeed words from bottom of your heart. We'll explore more about ETRX and EXTC further during question and answers. Now I would request Harshula to share her views.
Certainly, I think I'm facing some video challenges, so just bear with me.
Sure.
Nevertheless, I think I will continue just with the audio on. So apologies for the
time. Should we shift to Mohit? Monit?
Yes, please. I mean, I'll try logging in again.
Yeah, fine.
And-
So Monit,
Yeah.
Can you share, because Harshula is facing some problem with her video?
Yeah, no problem. No
Right.
problem. I think my views on this is, I think follow your passion more than anything else. Do you want to follow the crowd just because the crowd is going on this side, and that's why you want to do computer software or computer engineering? I think, as I mentioned, you need to follow your passion. If you like something in healthcare, for example, in biomedical engineering or similar biotechnology aspects, please follow that. I'm not aware in the recent trends which are there in India for admissions, but I think the world is growing, world is recognizing that there are other fields which can make a difference into your life. So pursuing, because just your friend is following computers or your neighbor is following computers, doesn't make any sense at this point of time. I have grown myself. Even when I did my engineering, you wouldn't believe I had in my hand, even after choosing biomedical, I was told by my college, Monit, you had actually asked for computer engineering as your first choice. We are able to give you now your first choice. So biomedical engineering was my second choice. But then I realized, do I really want to follow this? Everybody going into computer science, everybody going into electronics. And I stuck on to my point. No, I would like to stick on to my biomedical engineering. I think it comes from what is in your heart, because if you are interested in something that you want to pursue, believe in yourself. And I think that is the most important aspect. Believe in yourself, follow your passion, and you should be able to do the critical thinking later on in your life to see, okay, now that I have done this, I would like to do much better than what I had learned in my engineering. As Mr. Phansikar has mentioned that he has interviewed so many thousands of aspirants during his tenure. I think even me, when I'm looking at people or those who are applying, I was looking at what passion do they hold into their life. Freshers should be very, very clear about their goals once they are coming out of the engineering. If they feel, I'm sure they do not know what they want to do once they complete the engineering, because for them now the world is open for them to achieve anything they want. But what we look for is really that spark in them, that do they really want this job, or is it just because it is attracting, just because they want to do something? What really matters is the aspect of where does this guy want to go? What is his life journey that he wants to achieve? So today, I have seen that healthcare and electronics have combined together in various forms. If you have, for example, a biotechnology academic career that you want to choose, it will encompass somewhere the electronics and somewhere the biomedical, and you need to join this. You can be that bridge between clinicians and electronics guys, or clinicians and software guys. Be that bridge between two different domains currently, and I think that is what is important from my perspective. Joining any field is not the criteria. I feel as you progress in your life journey, you will change. I know people who have joined biomedical engineering have moved on to do something in finance, but that's what they wanted to do. but that doesn't mean that they have not utilized their understanding of biomedical engineering. As Mr. Fonseca mentioned, that most of the initial 4 years of your engineering, you will have common subjects that you will pursue. So pursue what you want to do, follow your passions, and you should be okay. I can now give back to Amit.
Thank you. Mohit. It was really interesting to hear from you. Follow your passion. And I just, while you were speaking, I just happened to remember, because I was going through when Mitali introduced you, you have a 3 decades experience in biomedical. And I remember, and you are from TESC, if I'm not wrong.
BSEC, yeah.
I know one of my friend who was in TESC doing biomedical engineering, Mr. Rajesh Kamath.
Yeah.
And Rajesh is today heading a media financing.
Yes.
He's head of media.
Viacom.
Here at Viacom.
Yeah. He was in Viacom.
Yeah. So when you were speaking, I just got to know that, see, it's your passion, what will take to you around 20, 30, 40 years. So a person from biomedical engineering, then a management degree from Symbiosis, and leading him to a media finance executive all along through. But the basic of engineering stays with him. So thank you once again, Mohit. I'll come back to you again. Harshula ma'am, are you done with your?
Yes, I think I've joined from my video phone as well. I hope I'm audible and visible, right?
You're not visible, I think so. You're audible.
I think I am on the
You're
second.
visible.
You're visible. Yeah.
Fine. Yeah,
Okay.
fair enough. Yeah.
So, first of all, thank you very much, Mitali madam, for the kind introduction, and I truly appreciate you setting the stage. It's an honor to be among this esteemed panelists, and I look forward to an engaged and meaningful conversation today. Appreciate VIT for taking this initiative to help parents and students take an informed decision, as you said, because it's a very important milestone in their professional career that they are embarking on. That is what why I am appreciating this initiative, is because, as Mr. Fanshikar also said, you recruit people, the freshers, and we see a wide gap between the academia and the the industry. And I think Vidyalankar is doing a great job in trying to organize this session, and all the things that Mitali madam read about it. I really appreciate that, because this is definitely preparing employable engineers, as I will say, because we have a lot of engineers who are out, but I find there are very few employable engineers, precisely because of the skill set that they lack. Now, coming to your question is, yes, most of the students today are aspiring to be software professionals or computer engineering. Now, to understand the core underlying reason for that, it's the aspirational value. Most of our Indians, we think we have this great fascination for the NRI tag, right? And we think that NRI tag, this is the best launching pad for you. If you do computer engineering, you will get a job, you will go to US, you'll do a master's there, whatever. So basically this NRI fascination is what is doing that. Second reason is, yes, they definitely get paid more in the initial years, but one should understand that when there is high returns, there is high stakes as well. So you now see how the industry is doing. The supply demand that we are talking about, software engineers, is really anybody, a commerce graduate or the science graduate or another engineering stream, is now moving for computer engineering, and which is actually a cause of concern. So if you're going to do for computer engineering, I think we need to look at something. What is the demand down the line 5 years? Because the students who are going to get into engineering now, we should not focus on what is the trend right now in the market, because it's an emerging technology, and whatever is in at this point of time might not be there 5 years down the line. So we should probably choose a profession or a career which is going to give you good returns in the down the line, not forgetting the passion. both of my earlier panelists did talk about passion. So I think you should look at choosing a profession where that will make you happy, because this is your founding years now. Understand that engineering, if you look at the trend, IIT, I think Dr. Oak said that, so many, I think the top whatever percent chose computer engineering in IIT Bombay. But if you look at what are they doing later on, IIT IIM is a lethal combination. So most of the IIT graduates are moving to management. And we find that there is a dearth of good people in core engineering or core science. So I think students here need to understand, students' parents also, because I see so many times the parents' aspirational values are put onto the student or the child. We need to understand that there is a job market out there. You must have seen that recently, the Atmanirbhar Bharat is what is encouraging professions which were earlier not getting that due in India. So you see that semiconductor engineering or other professions, pure manufacturing, are all getting due in so many MOUs that are being signed between the various. So I think we should look at all those options. Electronics is a broad electronics. So I am a bachelor's in electronics. Let me tell you honestly, moving into software is not really a very big or difficult thing. But the lateral transition from electronics to computers is definitely easy. But coming from there back to core subjects is not easy. So I would suggest, today software technology has become like a fundamental necessity across all the fields that you see, whether it's a pure science researcher. I'm sure Monit is doing, he's a researcher there, and he is capitalizing on the AI/ML technology, which is the emerging technologies that you do. So irrespective of whatever field you choose, you will have to get acquainted with the emerging technologies like AI/ML. And so there is nothing that stops you from learning it. But this core engineering, core science is what you should target, looking at what would be the demand 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line. And this is what is going to remain. You will not have a problem of getting a software professional anywhere, but there will be a problem getting pure mechanical engineer, pure electronics engineer, because the market is going to be there for these professions down the line. So I think the foundation of engineering is very important. And I hope this interactive discussions that are there will help students and parents who are right now there in this webinar today to ease their anxiety and take some informed decisions and not run behind just because your friend's son is taking a computer engineering, or everybody is taking a computer engineering. I think that is what I wanted to put across. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Harshula. Indeed, all the participants here would have realized one thing, that whatever decision they take, it's something which is from their hearts rather than following the herd. And rightly said by Harshula, she mentioned about there is dearth of good engineers. I would like to little correct here that there is a dearth of good people in the industry overall, if you see. Because people want to follow their passion, industry wants something which is purely outcome based. And that is what I would like to start this question answer sessions with. Outcome based is something. When we are talking today, admission to engineering, and I think so all of the three panelists here and all my teacher colleagues will agree, engineers have to engineer. They have to create. So every day they have to be innovative. They need to bring it on the table something, new idea, new problems, new problem statements. So in this regards, I would like to ask a question to Abhay sir. According to you, because he being the member of Board of Studies at various institutes, being on the executive committee of IEEE, one of the recognized and the leading institute for engineers, what is the most important aspect of engineering education today?
The most important aspect, as I would like to put is the ability to instill in people that whatever they have learned, there's still a lot to learn. And secondly is whatever they are doing, they got to do a quality job. So even if you are writing your simple assignment or you're doing your final year project, you can do it in a far better with good finesse. And once you show that kind of an ability, your employability in the industry goes much higher. And that's what I would like to kind of say. I mean, the engineering subjects will prepare you for all the eventualities that you will have to face in the industry. They train you on technical knowledge. They train you on all the supporting infrastructure, as well as soft skills, as well as presentation and management. They also give you enough exposure to work with conflicts. So you have been exposed to all of it, but your ability to imbibe all of them and create yourself as a better person, a better engineer. And that will be seen in the way you deliver your work, whether it's an assignment, whether it's your final year project, or whether it's just a talk you give, or whether you are a master of ceremonies in any event. All that is seen in your way of your presentation and your body language.
To continue with the same, Mohit, to you now, you have been working in India as well as in UK now. How can engineers gain a hands-on experience in this 4 years of regular engineering course?
I think you should be involved in. I mean, hands-on experience will come to you once you have the ability to understand theoretical things which you have learned in your 3 years or 2 years of experience in engineering. That should be followed up with some internship courses or internship within the actual industry. That will help you to actually understand what are the real problems of the world. You do not understand those real problems when you're doing only engineering. You need to get into the to the swimming pool to understand what is the actual temperature of the water. So internship will help you to gain that real world experience. And that's what I feel is the right approach in that follow-up of those 4 years of engineering.
Just to continue, Mohit,
Yeah.
You're into biomedical field.
Sure.
So I would like to ask you a question. Field of medicine is evolving day by day.
Yeah.
And we all have witnessed this at the time of pandemic.
Mhm.
And in this respect, can you just tell me what are the gross aspect to biomedical engineering from industry perspective?
So what I have learned in these years is biomedical offers growth aspects in areas specifically in medical device development, in healthcare technology, in diagnostic equipment, in telemedicine and rehabilitation engineering, as well as in bioinformatics. Now, why is this? Because the healthcare industry is evolving very rapidly, and biomedical engineering professionals contribute to improving patient care, developing innovative medical technologies, and bridging the gap between engineering and medicine. That's what I feel. I mean, after pandemic, you have realized that how healthcare is really important, and to solve those problems which are coming within the healthcare, you need to really understand the electronics aspects. So within biomedical engineering, if you ask me, electronics is one of the important aspects which you'll automatically learn. But besides that, what you are going to see is understanding of signals that come out of your body and how do you utilize those signals. So the question that you have you mentioned is what do you see the various growth aspects? And I think the as Harshula also pointed out, and me saying this, today's world going towards artificial intelligence and ML AI technology, those growth aspects are coming very rapidly within healthcare, because those things will actually change the world of biomedical engineering. So there is huge aspects. it's really unseen at this moment. You have heard things like genomics, genetics, and everything. So all these, what you will learn in this 4 years, will be utilized in these growth aspects which I just mentioned.
Wait, so you mean to say that biomedical engineer is going to be a substitute in medical field?
It will not be a substitute. Sorry, it is not a substitute at all. It cannot be a substitute because it involves totally different aspects. Okay.
So can you just throw little lights on what
yeah.
aspects they are?
Sure. No, as I mentioned, it's not a substitute for medical field. While biomedical engineering incorporates principles of engineering and applies them to the healthcare domain, it does not replace the medical field. Biomedical engineering work is a collaboration with healthcare professionals, combining their engineering expertise with medical knowledge, because you will still learn anatomy, physiology, biochemistry in your biomedical engineering. But as I mentioned, it's a collaboration with these healthcare professionals, combining their engineering expertise with medical knowledge to develop innovative solutions, medical devices, and technologies. Their role complements, okay, their role really complements and enhances the medical field, providing specialized skills in medical device design, healthcare technology management, research, and development. But they do not perform medical procedures or provide direct patient care like healthcare professionals. So that is what I see.
Right. Thank you, Manir.
Yeah.
Harshita, to you now. You are into software, you're into datamatics, you are basically electronics engineer. What kind of future avenues are open for software professionals, in your opinion?
So I think that's a little tricky question to answer, Mr. Because as you know, it's an emerging technology. What was really in maybe a couple of years ago is no longer the need. So, but some things are there to stay. For example, when I started my career way back in 1990s, I think I started as a Java programmer, and Java is still in there. So some things are there to stay. But if you look at the trend that is going on right now, as I said, the AI/ML has really entered into our house. You have Alexa at home. You have all these things which are actually making your job a little easy. Now, what we need to understand is there are two parts to any software. One is the application software, which we are talking about using the software that has been developed. So this is all we will use ChatGPT to do something, some of our tasks. So that is one part, which is application software. The other part is where into the research part of it, where you are actually developing software and coding to generate these algorithms. Now, these algorithms is where all these research scientists and people are working on it. So that part is where you will require pure mathematics background, or you will require computer science background, and where you will define the algorithm. So that's the second part of it. But if you look at the application perspective and looking at professions which are going to stay, I think top 5, I would say, which are there for near future could be, yes, data scientists. It's the in thing. Everybody's talking about data scientists. We have citizen data scientists. So data scientist is there, and these softwares are making their life a little easy. Generative AI is the next hot topic that we see right now, which is the new kid on the block talking about. Everybody is talking about ChatGPTs, AI/ML professionals. And I know that if I talk to 10 students, at least 6-7 of them would want to do something in AI/ML and data scientists. And yes, if you look at the short term, these are going to be there for some time. The other thing could be cybersecurity. Now, with the advent of internet, everybody is going, it's expanding so much. I think professionals in cybersecurity, ethical hacking could be a good option. But again, these are all specialized courses once you do that. Cloud technologies. Everybody is now, so Monit is also saying that he's implemented AI/ML, Azure, AWS. So cloud technologies and cloud specialists is what we need. But if you look in the industry right now, many software professionals will find themselves doing a combination of these three. And as Mr. Panchikar also said, it has to be always ever learning. You cannot say, I remember earlier, people used to say, Dahawit Abhyas kar. I don't know how many Maharashtrians say, Dahawit Abhyas kar, bas, career life ban jayegi. 12, do it in 12th, life ban jayegi. Engineering karo, you will done it. No, it's not that. Realistic is that you always have to keep on learning. And as the trend goes, you have to be very agile in terms of acquiring those skills which are required in the market. Otherwise, you will definitely not find, the amount of the jobs will be there. I'm not saying jobs won't be there, but if you are aspiring to have a very successful, I don't know what everybody defines as a success. People define usually success as monetary success. But for me, success would be something where you are contributing something substantially. So if you want to do that, I think these 5 areas is what you need to do, and always catch up with the latest trends that are going on.
Fine.
I just wanted to add something, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
To what Monit said, right? Industry internship is what you should keep yourself, in order. Now I see when I think Mitali ma'am explained, they said you have become autonomous, and I was really very happy about it. The reason being, you find that there is a gap between the academia and the industry, and we keep on talking about it. What is the gap? What is the gap? And I see when I interview students, I see the type of assignments they do, type of the projects that they do are sometimes, far away from what is required in the industry. It's very, very basic. They just complete it in order to complete the assignment and move on to the next stage. And I think that's where this is really great that you are an autonomous institute now. And looking at the past records, I'm sure you are doing all these things wherein you are encouraging students to be creative, innovating, choosing their projects, which could be more aligned with the industry demands.
Fine. Thank you, Harshula. To continue the same, I would like to ask you one question. Is that is computer engineering and information technology, this is always a conflict amongst the student, interlinked? Do they have some common subjects, or how do you as an industry person look into as a BE computer science and BE information technology?
Okay, yeah, that's a very nice question. Actually, when I did my master's, I was thinking whether I should go for IT, I should go for CS. I did my master's at the age of 45 because I wanted to get back into the industry. So it's a very important decision that you need to do. And it depends on what is the type of job or what is the type of career you want to build for yourself. And as I explained earlier, we have 2 streams when we say software professionals. One is the one who is going to do applications. So people who will be using the software to generate further software. So those people usually are okay with doing an IT. So IT is more of broad level, which touches upon all these different aspects of. So I can say it's not a very specialized case, but it touches upon everything right from cloud to the other aspects. Whereas computer science or computer vision is more specialized course, and usually the people I have seen who are in computer science are the ones who go into core development aspects of it. Not that I don't see them into software jobs. Obviously, they are all there. But if you want to make a career into research and development, probably that is what you should choose. So that's the difference according to me. Maybe Mr. Phanchikar might differ, or he might have his own views. But that's what I see as a broad difference between IT and computer science.
In fact, now I'd like to throw open one question to all 3 of you. And that is, what is the relevance of doing engineering in the core branches like computer and IT vis-a-vis nowadays the university and all institutes offering specializations into ML, AI, vagara, vagara, vagara. So a BE in ML, a BE in AI, I think so all 3, your views would be certainly of help to all the students, participants, and predominantly the parents.
Yes.
Yeah, so let me start because I come from a core engineering profession for many, many years. And I would still say that if you are doing your core engineering subjects, you can gather all of the other technologies very well. So if you are doing your core subjects, and if you work in the core industry, so to say, if you are working in say the manufacturing industry, or if you become a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat, where you are making devices and those kind of things. They are in the core industry, and probably there's a perception amongst people that core industry does not provide that kind of high salaries and nice life. That's not the case. Core industry gives you a huge amount of personal satisfaction, a good exposure to developing things, and a very satisfying life, saying that, okay, you have delivered something which is being used by a whole lot of people. And doing core, you can always shift to the allied industries like AI, ML, and computer science. I mean, I did my engineering electrical. Actually, electronics was just a couple of other subjects. I did my master's in control systems, so it was more of mathematics. I did initial research. I worked for Tata R&D for 10 years, building algorithms which got implemented into real life applications. And from there, in the last few years, we have been delivering AI ML based solutions. And I am also going deep into those technologies. So I think if you're doing core, you can adapt other technologies very, very easily. It will be kind of, I'll be happy to know from others who have kind of started with doing allied technologies first, and are they finding it difficult to adapt themselves to if they go back to core. But core, I mean, I see if you do core, you have a good career all throughout your life, not an issue.
Yeah, Monit here. I think, Mr. Panchikar, you're right. If you, by keeping your core technologies within yourself, you are keeping your options open as you progress in your career. But as if you decide to do certain niche industry initially, you've already chosen your career, and probably you will continue to follow that passion. So as I mentioned before, if that keeping those options open will help you to understand if you're not sure about what you want to do. So it somewhere down the line in your career, you will converge into something that you want to do, which is, I have seen in many people that, okay, you started with one core engineering, but down the line, you have gone into educational, you have gone into healthcare, you have gone into telecommunication, you have gone into core VLSI design. So somewhere you will converge, and you will probably follow that in your career. That's what I feel.
I also fully agree with both the panelists here that doing your core, your fundamentals to be very solid is extremely important here, and it builds a foundation. And later, as Monit also mentioned, that you can always do a lateral transition from one, because when you work into a particular core industry, that is where you start understanding what are your, within that industry, what is it that you want to specialize in. Picking up the skills of AI, ML, or the other latest emerging technologies is really not a big challenge. If you have already done your engineering, you have come through that 4 years grill, and I'm sure you can adapt very easily to all these new demands that are there. So transition. Now, if you look at, I see so many advertisements every time coming out from ISRO, or maybe the armed forces, or the, that there are these openings for core engineering students there. ISRO is always putting out advertisements for electrical engineers, electronic engineers. So do you find, today I think I read our Tejas has really made 7 years of, so how did it happen? Unless we had those core people doing those things, it wouldn't have happened. Transitioning to a lateral is really not at all. I see so many people moving from their core to something else. And but to answer specifically to Mr. Panchikar, is it difficult from a specialized to core? Yes, it is. From a core to something else is not that difficult. But let's say you have done only AI, ML, then going back to any fundamentals will become a little difficult, because core touches upon all these technologies in their courses. So they get they get a flair of what are these other technologies when they are doing their core engineering. And I think that is what helps them understand what is their calling. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Harshila. So indeed, I think so the students, around 100 odd students and parents who are in this webinar would certainly understand the importance of core branches, because the fancy, rather than going behind the fancy, it's better to understand the core, and from core going to the allied is what I think so going to be an important concept. Taking it further, Abhay sir, I would like to ask you a question. How would you like to really, or rather than I'll reframe the question, is electronics and telecommunication engineering today confined only to the telecom sector? Do you really feel that? Can you just share something on this?
No, electronics and telecommunications engineering is not at all confined to the telecommunications sector. If you look at a simple car today, a car when I passed out my engineering had no electronics whatsoever. And while we were doing our final year, other than probably the lighting, which was the electrical portion, the battery lighting, and maybe some starter, when I was in the final year, we saw some cars with electronic ignition coming out. Whereas today, in a car, you have almost 30 to 40 electronic boards, and they are communicating in between those boards via something called as a controller area network, and then they are sending data out on a wireless RFID near field technologies to monitoring devices. They also have possibility of having a USB connected and pulling the data out for analytics. So even something like an mechanical, so-called mechanical vehicle like a car has a lot of electronics and telecommunications fit into it. So EXTC, if you look at it, is not like you're going to lay telephone lines or do some wireless work. It is very demanding. It's a technology which is used almost everywhere in all walks of life. I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah. Please, sir, why I asked this question genuinely is that the students always have a ambiguity or a confusion while selecting a specialization electronics and a specialization electronics and telecommunication. So can you just throw some light on a specialization, a B in electronics and B in electronics and telecommunication, how these two are accepted by the industry?
Well, they both are accepted very well.
So what is the difference in that?
Well, electronics and telecommunication, if you do, you are more open to technologies where devices talk with each other. If you're looking at electronics, I would still like to make devices which are very, very small and compact where electronics works. I mean, just yesterday, I had to take my colleague's wife for putting in a pacemaker. And the immediate thought that came into my mind is, oh, the pacemaker size is today like 2x2 centimeters. Can I reduce it? So that's where the core electronics will work. You will miniaturize the device. You will reduce its power usage. You will give more different ways of connecting and output to it. And that, I would say, is more of core electronics. So you will go to, say, VLSI technologies as an enhancement into that. Whereas when you do EXTC, you are going to look at more applications. Whatever the device is doing, how you can extend its reach to an area much beyond it. So you will be more exposed to the devices talking amongst each other. They're using various technologies that are coming in. Very recently, I was working on the LoRaWAN, which is a low power wide area network connectivity, which allows a device with a small pencil battery to communicate to other devices which are 15 kilometers away. So these are the kind of challenges that are now coming in EXTC domain, which are being addressed by people. Or how you can send a signal in a spread spectrum area where there is a lot of noise. Can you still use low power and send the data across? So these are the challenges which devices are addressing today, as well as working with a lot of interference that's happening. I mean, you see there's a lot of transmission happening all across. So when you make your devices, along with the core electronics, you will require the telecommunications aspect of it to control the interference of signals. So these are, I think I would differentiate it in that manner.
Fine, thank you, Abhay sir. You made a mention of pacemaker. So continuing that or taking that as a lead, Monit, the healthcare industry is going through a big revolution. What do you think will be the role of a biomedical engineer coming forward?
You're on mute, I think, Mohit.
Okay, sorry. What if I have understood your question right? You have asked the question of there is a huge lot of revolution which is happening in healthcare.
Yeah.
And what is the role of a biomedical engineer in there? I think he has a great role to play. He or she has a great role to play in this.
Thank you.
There are so many things which are happening in healthcare. Really, this short amount of time is really not enough for me to explain everything over here. Right from utilizing healthcare technologies within the cloud to or on-premise, as mentioned by Mr. Phanshikar about the pacemaker, that biomedical engineer is really at the bridge that is going to happen or is happening currently between the real world healthcare clinical problems and what the electronics guys require to build that solutions for healthcare betterment. From my perspective, as I've been pushing this, is AI/ML technologies are going to create a whole lot of things for us, as well as CNN technologies which are happening. Today's biomedical engineers are the ones who are actually able to understand what is it that is coming out of human body that can be converted into something that can be realized by the core electronics people, because this is where the lack of understanding from clinical people, that they do not understand electronics, and electronics guys really do not understand what is really happening with the clinical world. And this is where biomedical engineer will be the one who will be bridging that gap. He understands both the clinical aspects as well as what is required in the electronics aspect. So I think he's playing a very, very critical role, and what will drive that engineer is his critical thinking about what problem is he going to solve in the real world. Yeah.
Thank you, Monit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. In fact, we were trying to understand and looking at our audience, they would like to know what exactly. See, today, when we are talking about a lot of things, we are talking about AI, ML, about how things are going to change over a period of 4 years. But today, we are talking to our audience, which is comprising of parents and students who are aspiring to get an admission. Who wants to take an admission and get into the wonderland of engineers. Now, when I say they want to get into a wonderland of engineers, there's a lot of stress, anxiety, and tension. For engineers, we say, all of you have been saying, it's a dream come true. There are a lot of things, a lot of opportunities, but the kind of external environment what we have today, getting into engineering through a lot of processes and everything itself, it's really taxing nowadays. So what is the advice you give while entering for the students? We are talking about passion, we are talking about what you like. But today, everybody might not be in that comfort zone where they could understand what their passion is. So, Monit, you have been traveling worldwide, you have seen things abroad. In simple terms, what you would advise the students and parents to focus currently in a short term?
If you're talking about engineering admissions within India, I think because I have been out of India for some time, I do not have the current information what is really required for
Not a
entering
process,
into
sorry to cut you. It's
process.
not a
Yeah.
process. I'm not asking about process. I'm talking about what should be their mindset. What couple
What
of
should
should look while getting into a course?
while getting into the course, I think as I mentioned, if they know what they are doing in 11th and 12th, they have some understanding. I mean, I'm not saying the full understanding. What is it that they really want to do? Do they really want to do engineering? Do they really want to do medical? Or there are other things which are very, very passionate about. What I'm passionate about is forensic, for example. If there is something which, for example, there is no engineering degree in forensics, for example, yeah, but there are other degrees which lead you to those kind of work. So I have seen myself that what we had during our time, we had very narrow scope of probably understanding, but today's people are very well aware in the world what is available, and they have better scope now to choose their line of field. Engineering can be one of it. There are other biotechnology fields, there are other comms fields which are available, and I think if they want to study specific domain, I think if they feel that in 11th and 12th, I want to do say agriculture, for example, okay, agriculture engineering, I think they can follow that. That's not a problem. I feel core, as Vanshika mentioned, if you do not understand at this point of time, get into the core and then choose your niche as you go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. Abhay sir, your views?
Yeah, I would first of all tell the parents not to force their children into something which they may not like in future. Both my daughters were actually toppers in their boards, and one chose arts and the other one chose commerce. So I would have loved them to become maybe at that time an engineer or a doctor, but at the hindsight now, if I look at them, they are so successful in their career and they're so happy doing what they do. I'm myself satisfied that I didn't really force them to change the tack. In terms of taking engineering, which branch you should take, I think maybe a slight consideration you may want to give is whether you would like civil or mechanical. They are slightly different from all other branches. You can club them together. So civil, mechanical, and a bit of biomedical, I'll say, are slightly different because going forward, they take you into a different line. But if you are in IT, electronics, EXTC, computer engineering, computer science, data science, cyber security, they all fall in one bucket, and you can always switch in between them. Civil has its own merits, and if you like to build dams, bridges, and huge towers, buildings, as well as maybe get into the maintenance work of the old things, or then that's a different field, and you should really consider at this point of time uh, whether you would like to be in that domain. So other than that, I would say that if you like some amount of engineering, getting into an engineering branch, any branch that you get, you can take it, and you can on the side do allied courses if they are not if you're not kind of getting the branch that you like, and strengthen your knowledge. You can also do internships in those industries. Industries are far more open to have interns today than what it was 20 years back. So even if you are from a different domain, they'll be happy to have you in and give you an exposure. So all that will help you define and shape your career by the time you pass up.
Fine. Thank you, Abhay sir. Now, last question to Harshula ma'am. Harshula, I would like to have a question. What are your views about engineering as a discipline of creativity and technological expertise?
Yeah, it's a nice question. Just before I answer that, I thought I would add a little bit to what Mr. Phanshikar said. Now, I agree when he said, you can bucket it into these two broadly. One is, IT, computer science, the machine learning, etc., etc. And the other is civil land use land. Usually the students are not aware as to what they like. They have a very broad understanding of, I think I like this. And when I've seen one series, I think somebody on IITians, where they say I entered IIT and then this is not what I want. So I just completed the engineering. Now, what does engineering equip you with? I think apart from being your Wi-Fi expert to fix your house's Wi-Fi and, trying to understand all the, a little humorous is that I have seen engineers trying to, calculating, the angle, etc., to just open a stubborn jar. So apart from that, what it actually equips you is, it actually equips you with problem solving, logical analysis, logical thinking, planning, decision making, because to solve any one problem, there are different ways to look at it. And that is what I think engineers, that is the skills that engineers acquire at the end of those 4-year courses. And even in civil, let's say you entered civil, you did not like it. I have seen people taking their masters who are then into AI/ML, doing, land use, land, planning, and taking roles of planning, etc. So yes, there is, I think today we are at a stage where we have more flexibility of making transitions, which was not there earlier. Now, coming back, I think I just missed your question, Mr. Oak. What is the question that you asked in the whole process of answering this?
Ask a simple question. What are your views about hello?
Yes.
What are your views about engineering as a discipline of creativity and technological expertise?
Yeah, now if you see, most of the people are now going into, you see a lot of entrepreneurs right now who are, starting their startups. Now, unless you have this creativity and out-of-box thinking, you will not be able to come up. So sometimes, these startups are creating problems which I never thought are there, and then coming up with a solution to that problems. So I think creativity is a very, very key important aspect, which I'm not sure if we take a conscious effort to inculcate that. What we could do is that, a little bit of conscious efforts when we choose our projects. So the projects that we choose the problem definition that we do in our projects in the engineering should be such that it gives people to think about these rather than just picking up, Googling and finding out subjects that are there to do that. So creativity is extremely important innovation if you are looking at a career where you want to probably be an entrepreneur. And also to giving solutions which are out of box, because I think we always try to solve a problem in a particular way. But today's generation is definitely more creative, and they are open to experimenting and trying out different ways to address certain issues.
Fine. Thank you, madam. I think so now we have some time for question and answers. But overall, the discussion went on with the panelists feeling that the students should follow their passion. They should follow what they feel rather than following the herd mentality. The core engineering branches are surely important with the allied engineering like AI, ML. They can be learned. At Vidyalankar, we are fortunate to offer all the core branches like electronics and telecommunication, biomedical, computer, and IT. Anything related to that, you may contact the admissions. I think so. We have a last question. I had kept it purposely a little reserved, and our head of the department, Dr. Varsha, would like to ask something about the telecommunication. Over to Varsha.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I don't want to ask, but I just want to tell this to parents and students because all the three panelists talked about passion and interest. So many of many of the students, they don't know what is their passion or interest at this age. 18, they must be of 18 years old just now. So I feel that all of them should go through the syllabus which is available. So they should go through the syllabus of all the branches, and they will realize that the buzzwords like AI, ML, image processing, or robotics, these all fields, all the courses are available in all the core, all the branches. So if they join any of the branch, they are not losing anything. And another thing I want to add is narrowing down at core level, at undergraduate level. Like for example, you said that what will happen if they join AI, ML, or data science? So at the undergraduate level, it's very risky to narrowing down because the doors will not be open for them for joining master courses or industry if the trend changes after 5 years. So I wanted to add this only. Thank you.
Thank you, Varsha. Over to you, Ambara sir and Mitali ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Abhay Phansikar, Ms. Harshula Tulapurkar, and Mr. Monat Jadhav for sharing your valuable insights. Thank you, Dr. Amitok sir, for the panel discussion. And also thank you to Dr. Varsha Turkar madam for throwing some light on the engineering admission scenario. It would definitely be the door to open more doors for our aspiring engineering aspirants who are eagerly waiting to begin their beautiful journey of engineering. To have a glimpse of our institute, I take you to this short video of our college, which showcases the infrastructure and the facilities which are available over here. Over to you, sir.
Sunil,
Yes, sir.
please play video.
Thank you, sir, for playing the video. Now we have our alumnus, Mr. Omkar Desai, with us to share his VIT experience. Mr. Omkar is an electronics and telecommunication engineer from the 2015 batch of VIT. He has a total experience of 8 years of working in the IT industry, where he provides solutions to different types of projects across the globe. He has worked in TCS for 6 years and have been working in the ISS governance for the last 2 years as a senior solution architect. He is working on wide range of IT related tools like Java, Python, Ruby, Spring Boot, Azure, and many more. I now request Mr. Omkar to share his thoughts with all of us.
Yeah, thank you, Mitali ma'am. I hope I'm loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, I'm really very sorry. Actually, I'm traveling, so that because of that I cannot turn on my video though. But yeah, so yeah, just as Mitali ma'am said, like I'm a HSC pass out student from 2015 batch. As Abhay said, I've mentioned that like if you're having a experience of your core branches, if you have learned something from your core branches, that is the thing which you like. That is the thing which can help you in land in any of the things or any of the places. So yeah, there's like I'm the one who have not done any coding in 4 years of my engineering. The only coding I have done was in MATLAB. And like if you look at me now, like I've been working, I've been associated with multiple things and multiple technologies. So would just like to add few points as the discussion was going on. I was just noting down few things. So there was a question about like what extra needs to be done as a student during the course of their engineering. And like, yeah, there were many, like as Monit sir said that you can get into internships, you can get into many other things. But what I feel or what we have done as an engineer or as a student when we were there, so everyone has their assignments. So instead of doing assignments, we are focused more on the projects. We are focused more on the practical aspects of things which you are learning. So that is what is going to be helpful for you in your career. Because see, assignments and all those things will be there. The theoretical part that has to be there, as everyone has been saying, that like as soon as like until and unless you get that theoretical knowledge, you are not going to go bonkers in the industry. So that's what engineering teaches us. That's what engineering helps us in making us a good human being. So like in all, what like if you ask me, what engineering teaches us is engineering teaches us a problem solving ability. So it gives us a strong record keeping ability. It gives us that thought. So here I'll just like to share a memory of us while we were being graduated from the Vidyalanka itself. So Amar Deshmukh sir was our used to teach us Maths 1 and Maths 2 in our first year engineering. So he always used to say think differently. So again, like at that time, we were just we used to enjoy all these things, but like right now getting into here, having an experience of 8 years and like working in the actual industry, like that's what like we go back and we think about it. Yeah, that's what like what he mattered by think differently is not just the by the academic aspects, but about the entire like about all the things which it comes onto way. So the only difference you are going to make to the world is like how differently you are able to think. So just to give you an example of mine, I'm an XSC engineer. I'm working in an IT. So the discussion which was going on around that like whether you should focus on the core branches like EXSC, ETRX, or the biomedical, or you should get into the branches wherein like you have you get a good job, like be it comms, be it IT, or be it any other fields. So again, like having a EXSC engineering degree, I got into IT. Obviously, I got into TCS, like all thanks to Vidyalanka itself. I got campus placed, but it all depends on you, how you want to progress, how you want to mold your career. So if you are passionate enough, if you are keen enough, if you are focused enough towards what you want to do in your life, I feel is like everything is achievable. And like that's what my success mantra is. Like I'm very I'm still a kid in front of the panelists which we have, like Pete Fanchikar sir, Harshula ma'am, and the Monit sir. And actually I feel very fortunate that I've got this chance to talk about myself and to share my experiences about things which I have gone through. I think that's all from my side.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Omkar, for sharing such interesting and informative experiences with us all. So, may I now request Ms. Pratibha Shetty, ma'am, to speak about engineering admissions procedure?
Yeah, thank you, Mithali. I'll just like to share the screen. Can the host just give me the permission to share the screen?
Sunil. Sunil Thube.
Yeah, thank you. I've got the access. So, of course, after the discussion which was going on, let us quickly see how this admission process, okay, where you're applying for the colleges, how this process actually takes place. Just a second, I'll just go on the screen. Give me a second, I'm not. Yeah.
5 साल बाद 4 साल बाद जब उन्हें pass out.
Yeah, I hope everyone is able to see the screen. Okay. So now
Yes,
let us
ma'am.
start with this admission process. Okay, so here we would be, just going through the entire admission process. So in this process, okay, the process which have already started, the registration process is already started, is based on your CET percentile. So let us see how you will get the best college based on your CET percentile. Okay. The entire process will be, in the online mode where you will have to apply through the website, which is known as fe2023.mahacet.org. The basic eligibility to, participate in this process is, the PCM marks of any candidate should be equal to or more than 45%. For a reserve category student, it will be equal to or more than 40%. Okay. To apply to any college in Maharashtra, okay, there's actually two type of processes which takes place. One is the CAP process, which is known as centralized admission process. And there is another type of process, which is known as institute level process. So let us understand what type of seats are available in the respective colleges and what type of colleges are available through this processes. Okay. So broadly, if you define, there are 4 type of seats which are available in colleges. One, which is majorly known as Maharashtra state seat or MS seats. The other type of seats which you find in colleges are minority seats. The third type will be all India seats. Okay. And the fourth type of seats will be institute level seats. So the student who is a domicile of Maharashtra will be eligible for this Maharashtra state seats. Okay. As the name itself suggests, minority seats will be available for any linguistic minority which is available in that respective college. All India seats will be not only available for students in Maharashtra, but any student in India can apply for this All India seats. And the fourth seat, which is commonly known as management seats, will be available for the students. Okay. Now, which colleges will have these type of seats? Broadly, if you define, there are 2 type of colleges which are available. One is a government college and the second type of a college will be a private colleges. Okay. So Maharashtra state seats will be available in all the colleges. Okay. Both the type of colleges. Minority seats, as the name suggests itself, it will be available only in minority colleges. Okay. Where any college has some minority belonging on the linguistic minority. The third type of seats, all India seats, will be available only in private colleges. So in Mumbai region, if you see, there are 2 type of government college, which is VJTI and SPC. In both these colleges, all India seats will not be available. And same is the case with institute level seats. So institute level seats will be also available only and only in private colleges. So what is the admission criteria to apply for these type of seats? Okay. Your MS seats and minority seats will be available based on your MST CET percentile. Okay. All India seats, your JEE main percentile will be considered. So right now, when the registration process is going on, make sure that at least you apply through your JEE main scores also, because to be eligible to be applying for this AI seats, your JEE main percentile will be considered. Institution level seats will be completely at the discretion of the college. So you usually we see the CET percentile has been considered. In case if there is any vacancies left in the colleges, then your JEE percentile might also be considered. Point to be noted here that CAP application, that registration process is mandatory even if you want to apply only for institute levels. Okay, to apply for all the seats like MS seats, minority seats, all India seats, there will be one single application form that you need to do to apply to any type of seats in or any colleges. For institute level seats, you will be actually have to visit different colleges and apply at the college level. Okay, so even if you want to apply to 3-4 colleges, you will have to visit the college, take the admission form, fill that form, and participate in the individual merit ranks. Okay, what kind of application you need to do, how the admission process in CAP process will take place. There will be one single online form that you need to fill with your options. Okay, what is the option? It is a combination of a college and branch. So there will be one single option form that you will be required to fill for any type of seats in CAP processes. How many options you need to write is minimum 1 and maximum 300 options you can mention in the said form. Okay, there will be 3 rounds for this entire process. And for every process, before every process starts, you can completely edit your form. Okay, institute level seats will be on offline process, which takes place at the institute level. So there will be different merit rounds, which will be taking place in the colleges. And based on that, admissions will be required. What could be an outcome of CAP process? The outcome of CAP process will be based on the your merit rank. There will be a single allotment given to you per round. Okay, so there could be a possibility that based on your CET percentile, your rank, there could be a possibility that you might get admission into different colleges. But in this process, only one allotment will be given to you per round. Okay, institution level, since you're applying to different type of colleges, there is a possibility that your name might come in different colleges. So it completely depends on the candidate on which basis he could take admission in which colleges. Point to be noted here is both this process are independent process. Okay, and both these processes will go parallelly. CAP will completely be an online process and institution level will be completely an offline process. Okay. Cancellations could be done anytime. So in case if you applied through CAP process, you got a college in through CAP process and you get a better college in institution level process, you can cancel the admission of CAP process and proceed with the institution level process college which you have got, and vice versa. So our advice or our recommendation here will be participate in both the type of processes. Clear? Now let us understand how this flows will take place. 3rd July is the last date for applying or registering for this online process. Okay. 4th July tak aapka verification should be done. So this process is actually takes place in 2 parts. So first part is already going on where you are, applied to the process. Your application is mandatory. You applied, you uploaded all your documents. You have to scan and upload all your documents, and then the verification will be done. So the student can either choose e-scrutiny, which will be an online process, or go to a feasible college where the list of colleges have been mentioned and get the verification done. So once the verification is done, every candidate will get different type of merit ranks. So based on their CET percentile, they will get a state level merit rank number. Based on the JEE means, they will get a all India merit rank number. A girl candidate will get a different merit rank number, ladies merit rank number, university wise merit rank number. So a student will get different type of merit ranks, and based on that, you will understand the where you rank in this entire process. Once you get a merit rank, then the part 2 actually begins, which is the admission process to the colleges. Before every round starts, a set of seat distribution or the seat matrix will be available on the said website. What you need to understand from the seat matrix is, even if the number of seats which are available, not all the number of seats are available for an individual candidate. So based on his candidature or the child's candidature, the number of seats will differ. So you need to understand and go through the seat matrix and then understand actually how much number of seats are available for you pertaining to that college. Okay. Based on that, you need to prepare your institute branch combination, okay, which is known as an option form. How many options you again need to fill is minimum 1 or maximum 300 options you can fill. That is the most important thing process you will be doing in this entire CAP process. Okay. Once you have filled that, then the round starts. So round 1 will start, then round 2 and round 3. And based on that, you need to apply to different colleges. And once the allotment is done, then you need to go to the respective college and pay your college fees, and your engineering career begins. How this process takes place, what things you need to take in consideration while filling up the option form, I'll take you through in my further slides. Okay, so as I've told you broadly, there are two types of colleges. One is government college, and the second type of college is a private college. Government college is also bifurcated into two types of colleges. One are the pure government college, and one is government aided college. Okay, so in Mumbai region, both the colleges which are VJTI and SPC are government aided college. We do not have any college which is pure government college. And the second type of colleges are private colleges, which are again defined into non-minority or minority colleges. Okay, now if you see the seat distribution in government and private colleges, in government colleges, all the seats will be filled through CAP. So in case if you want to apply to any college which is a government college, your CET percentile will only be considered. Okay, 100% of the seats are Maharashtra seats. So there is no minority seats available in such colleges. There is no institution level seats available. Okay, so entire admission process for any government college will be based on the CAP process. Institute or the private institute, the seat distribution usually is 80% of the seats will be through the CAP process and 20% of the seats will be filled to institute level seats. Okay, so in case if you want to go for any institute level seats, it will be available only and only in private colleges. Clear? So this is how the seat is distributed amongst government and private colleges. As I've told you earlier, in this entire process, the most important thing is you will be doing is filling up the option form. So what is the option? Let us quickly understand what is the option. Okay. For every round, you have to fill minimum 1 or maximum 300 options. So how do you read an option? Option is a 9-digit code that you need to mention during this admission process. Okay. The very first digit which is mentioned in this process will, indicate the region that you're applying for. So if it starts from 3, it means you're applying for a Mumbai region college. Then if it starts from 6, it applies that you're applying for a Pune region college, and likewise. Okay. The next 3 digit will indicate the college that you're applying for. So if it is 139, it means that you're applying for Vidyalankar Institute of Technology. So every college will have a unique code. The next 3 digit will indicate the branch that you're applying for. Okay, so 245 will indicate that you're applying for computer branch. 372 will indicate that you're applying for EXTC. So every branch will have their own. Okay, the second last digit will indicate the shift that you're applying for. Okay, earlier colleges used to work in different shifts, but now there is only one single shift, and that is why the second last digit will always be 1. Okay, the last digit of the option form indicates the nature of the seat. So if it is 0, that means you are applying for a general seat. If it is 1T, that means you're applying for tuition fee waivers. Okay, so what is a tuition fee waiver seat? So tuition fee waiver seat means any student or any candidate whose parental income, both the parents' income, okay, is less than 8 lakhs rupees, he can apply for tuition fee waivers. Okay, and needless to say, of course, that student needs to have that kind of income certificate, and that has to be applied through this admission process. He is eligible for such type of seats. So a combination of such 9-digit code will indicate that one option form. Any changes you make here will result into a new option form. Okay, you need not by heart this codes. Okay, there will be a drop down option that will be available, but make sure while filling up this option form, you have the same set of combination that you have, gathered, and accordingly you have uploaded the same option form in the list. Okay, so minimum 1 or maximum 300 options you can apply through this process. How you need to fill your option form? Make sure that whenever you fill your option form, you should mention your dream options first, then your optimistic options, where you feasibly feel that you have a chance of getting admission into those colleges, and at the end of the rounds, mention your realistic options, and it has to be done in the same sequence. Okay, so have the dream options, the best colleges that you aim for, have those options first. Then the optimistic, where you feel that yes, there will be a 50% chances of getting admission into that. And at the end of the set, of the options, you mention your realistic option, where you're sure feel that yes, us colleges mein to apna admission ho sakta hai. Okay, and then this process will start. Okay, so in this process, there will be 3 rounds where you will be filling up your option form. A provisional allotment will be given to you based on the options which you have mentioned. Once you get an allotment, okay, you need to decide what you need to do with that seat. Either you want to freeze it or go for betterment. What is freeze, what is betterment, I'll explain you in my further slides. Once I've decided that, based on your choice, you will be available for the next options. Okay, these rounds will take place. After all these rounds takes place, the college which you have been allotted to you based on the option you have mentioned, you need to go to that respective college, pay the fees, and your first year of engineering will begin. Okay, so let us understand what is fees, what is allotment, and what is betterment. Okay, for understanding purpose, we have graphically mentioned the college branch combination. Suppose if a candidate has given the options which have been mentioned here, like VJTI Computers, College of Engineering Computers, SPIT Computers, VJTI IT, College of Engineering IT. Likewise, he has mentioned a set of options which will be available for the round. When the process starts, based on the percentile of the student or based on the rank of the student, suppose if the 7th option could be allotted to the student, okay, in this process, on that respective date, allotment will be based कि VJTI Electronics is being allotted to the students. Once this college is allotted, any colleges which are mentioned below, okay, will not be available for the students for the entire other process. Okay, इसके ऊपर के ही rounds और इनसे ऊपर के ही colleges will be considered for any further rounds. Okay, once the allotment is done, the student needs to secure this admission. And how he needs to secure this admission? By paying an amount of 1,000 rupees. Okay, so that colleges are allotted to the student. If the student is quite sure with the fact that yes, VJTI Electronics is the same option that he wants to stick to, he is not going for any betterment chance, he needs to choose an option which is known as freeze. Once a candidate chooses an option as freeze, the student will not be eligible for any further rounds. Okay, he will be out of the process and he needs to go to the respective college, pay the fees, and submit his documents. In case if a student feels that no, he might keep this option as a reserved option and will try for a betterment. If he wants to check if he can get any better options in the subsequent round, he needs to choose an option which is known as betterment. Okay, the betterment, when he chooses what facilities he will be available, is that VJTI Electronics will be still reserved for the candidate, but he can participate in subsequent rounds. Now, when a student chooses betterment and he goes for further rounds, he needs to, he can completely edit the form in the second round, or he can still stick to the same options which have been mentioned in the previous round. Okay, whatever options are below the option which he has got will not be available for that subsequent round. Okay, the point to be noted here is, in case if a student gets a better college in the subsequent round, whatever allotment he has got in the previous round will automatically get cancelled. So in this case, if VJTI Electronics was allotted to the student in the first round, in the second round, in case if a student gets College of Engineering Pune IT, automatically he loses his claim on VJTI Electronics. He cannot go back and claim the right on VJTI Electronics. So you have to be sure while filling or while going for a betterment that whatever options you have mentioned above the allotted one should be better than what you have exactly got. Okay, so this is how the rounds will take place. This is the main difference of freeze and allotment. Betterment. You can also choose betterment in the second round, and then you will be eligible for the third round. So how this process takes place? Round 1, allotment. There could be a possibility that a student might get an allotment or he might not get an allotment based on the percentile which has been mentioned. 2 minutes. नहीं बैठी हाँ बैठी हेलो बैठी मेरा सेमिनार चल हेलो okay, sorry. So either a student can get an allotment or he will not get an allotment. Suppose if he gets the first allotment, okay, the first allotment which he gets will be auto freeze by default. Okay, because it's the first allotment, there is no chance of betterment about that. Second option onwards, if he gets any allotment, he has an option to either do freeze or go for betterment. Okay, if he selects freeze, he is out of subsequent rounds, that is round 2 and round 3. If he chooses betterment, he needs to pay that 1,000 rupees as a seat acceptance fees, and then he can participate in the further round. Okay, round 2 is quite similar to round 1. The round 2 also, a student based on his options can get an allotment or he might not get an allotment. In round 2, again, if he gets the first allotment, it will be auto freeze. If he gets any allotments other than the second option onwards, he can either choose freeze or go for betterment. If he chooses freeze, he is out of round 2. If he chooses betterment, he is eligible to pay that seat acceptance fees and go for round 3. Now, seat acceptance fees can be paid only once, should be paid only once. So if you have paid in the first round, it is not required that again in the second round for the betterment option, you need to pay the fees again. Okay. So here, then you can participate. In case if you are choosing betterment, you can participate in the third round. In the third round, either you get an allotment, same as the case, or there is a possibility that based on the options which you have failed, a student is not even able to get any allotment even after the third round. So in that case, what the student needs to do is he needs to go to the private college and then see if there is any vacancies in the private colleges and apply for those colleges there itself. Now in third round, if a student gets an allotment, here again he has an option to either accept it or reject the allotment which he has got. Okay. In case if he rejects the option, what he needs to do is he needs to go to the vacancy and check whether there is any vacancy in the institutes and apply to the colleges directly. So that will be completely an offline admissions. Okay. If he accepts the college which he has got, he needs to go to the respective college, pay the fees, and his first year of engineering will take place. Okay. This entire process now, since the registrations are going on, this entire process will take approximately a month's time. Okay. So what is we are expecting is the colleges should start somewhere about August 1st or 2nd. The process is simple. The most important thing in this entire process what you will be doing is filling up the option form. So I hope the admission process is quite clear with this presentation. So in case if anyone has questions, they can just unmute themselves or ask questions or mention that on chat. Mitali ma'am, I'm done with my presentation. So
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Yeah.
you, Pratibha ma'am, for explaining the engineering admission process to our engineering aspirants. Thank you so much. Now we will open the forum for queries, which
Sure.
are asked by our delegates, and our panelists would be happy to address the same. There's one question. Just a minute. We have received, like Ambada sir and me have received direct messages. So I'm trying to ask from those. First question is, what kind of skills should an aspiring engineer build while they are learning the course? So if our panelists can answer this question, it would be great.
Well, there are two things that need to be looked into. One is the technical skills. So if they are intending to go into a particular domain or a particular area, if they try to build skills around that, like I come from an embedded systems background. So if you do an embedded solutions core where you want to do chip programming, or if you are interested in very large scale integration or those things, if you do a course side by side, that's good. But at the same time, you also, if you do take some training on good project report writing or a good paper writing or good presentation skills, which are the soft skills portion, that will help you in the long run to be a better equipped engineer. Or some other things, skills like design thinking, if you are interested in doing research oriented work.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much. Another question is, should I select ECS, or what is the difference between ECS, that is electronics and computer science, and is it same as computer engineering? Is electronics and computer science same as computer engineering? That is the question.
Well, I have seen some, I mean, each college has slightly different variation, and some of them are autonomous, some of them are non-autonomous. But between these courses, you will have many subjects which are very common. Few subjects that go into the scientific or the research aspects of computer science may not be a part of computer engineering. And some very advanced electronics courses again may not be a part of computer engineering. At the same time, some other programming languages may not be a part of ECS. But I could say that fairly almost like 80% of the courses are the same. And rest, if you don't get a particular branch and want to do a course of another branch, either you could do it as an elective course, or you could get some external training done, a certificate course by the side. That's easily possible.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Another question is, when they start working, they want to know the difference between QA and QC, where QA is quality assurance and QC is quality control. So one of the attendees wants to know the difference between QA and QC in engineering.
Well, it's I think too early to ask this question. But when you are in the quality department of an engineering company, you work with certain metrics that your product will have like less than these many number of defects. And that's possible by way of you setting up processes which will ensure that your defects will be very low. At the same time, you also do a continuous testing at various levels. So your QA and QC, that will actually encompass on whether you are doing the testing on a particular device, or whether you are setting up processes which in the longer term will assure a good quality number for the product.
Okay, sir.
So I think I'll add to it, as the name suggests, it's a control, right? So quality QA is setting up some processes, and QC is finding out the outputs and analyzing and putting that controls in place. But again, as Mr. Panchikar said, it's too early. It's a niche. I mean, it's a very macro level question, but yes, once you are into that quality domain, I'm sure you'll be able to understand those details.
Yes, ma'am. The next question is related to admission. The question is, if I got college in cap round 3, but still I want to go for spot round, is it possible?
Sorry for that,
candidate-
ma'am. I missed your question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. The question is, if the candidate has got the desired college in cap round 3, but still he wants to go for spot round, is it possible?
Yeah, it is absolutely possible. He can still opt for the spot admissions. The only worry is that there will be a cutoff date. So before that date, he can cancel any admissions and go to any other respective college and seek for the admissions. So once after the cutoff dates, the student cannot apply to any other college.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. The last question is, what are the 3 keys to engineering success? 3 keys to engineering success.
But I don't know why we would want to say engineering success. It would be a generic one to success, isn't it? Because in any stream, wherever you go, hard work, it is imperative. You are, I think hard work is one of the biggest thing that you need to do. So irrespective whether it's acting or whether it's IT profession. And I think we've already highlighted the other things that you need to do is ability to learn new things which you cannot say I am a software engineer, or maybe I am only going to focus myself into a particular area. Yes, that you can do at a master's level, or or a PG post-graduation level. But here, hard work, maybe ability to learn different things, and enjoy what you're doing. I think what is what I'll say.
I think I'll answer this taking the cue from what Mitali said when she opened this session. Have an aim, follow it with the right education to achieve the aim, do hard work, and keep persevering. I think she has summed it very nicely in one line.
Yes, sir. That was a quote from Abdul Kalam, sir. Yeah, we have got one more question. It is like, what is the difference between EXTC, that is Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, and ECS, Electronics and Computer Science Engineering? So they want to know the difference between the two branches.
So when you go slightly deeper, I mean, I would say that the first 2.5 years you will end up doing similar courses. When you go slightly deeper in computer science, you will go more towards the scientific part of computer, the operating systems, the file systems, and the various communications across the computer chips in themselves. I mean, that would go more towards computer science, and also you will do more on algorithms, data structures, those subjects. When you come on the EXTC side, you will do more of communications. So Wi-Fi, RFID, Bluetooth, then cloud communications, cloud engineering. So that will probably define in the last 2 semesters. That's the difference. Otherwise, about 2.5 years would be the same.
Okay. Students are asking some more questions. One of them is, are students also involved in journal publication and attending international conference? Is it related to the field? So they want to ask if students are also involved in journal publications and attending international conferences.
If they do this, it will help them immensely in their future career, though it's not a essential part, or it's not like mandatory that you got to publish papers or attend conference. But if you do that, it shows your own interest in pursuing that direction. Also, you are able to network with a whole lot of people. And thirdly, when you are kind of placed among with your peers, that okay, both of you are amongst the same, and if I need to select one of the two, I would also give weightage to someone who has gone out of the way and published a paper or attended a conference.
Yeah, it becomes a differentiation factor when selecting, when you have same kind of candidates in front of you.
And also the research that you go through when you are publishing a paper, the amount of detailing that you do in that particular subject, it will definitely help you in the entire, understanding the subject as such. And as Mr. Panchikar said, yes, definitely it's a differentiating factor. A lot of weightage is given to students because it shows their, the character that they have, right? Going out of the comfort zone and doing something different.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, who's this?
I had a question. I'm a student. I had a question.
Okay.
If I may.
Please ask. Yeah, please
I
ask.
actually want to pursue mechanical engineering. But what I've been hearing is that mechanical engineering is mostly taken up by boys, and I wouldn't be able to handle it, and I won't be suitable for the environment of mechanical engineering. So if you could please shed some light on that.
No way. I think that's a wrong perception. I mean, I passed out way back. I mean, almost 40 years back. and we have been having girls doing that subject. If you look at a couple of HODs today in either industry or in education institutes, there are ladies who passed out long time back, long time back. So I don't think that's at all a barrier that it's a male dominated and only a male oriented subject.
Thank you, sir. And sir, do you think in the current field, in the coming times, it will be suitable to take mechanical?
At all times, yes. It's one of the core branches, and there's a lot of advanced work that happens in mechanical. I mean, it's when you go into production, you'll kind of work with new devices, you'll work with new materials, you will develop a whole lot of solutions. I mean, if you just look at our country, maybe when we were passing out, you would never have heard of something called as a tunnel boring machine. And today in Mumbai, you have like many of them building the tunnels of metro. There's a huge work happening in mechanical. It leads to a lot of work that happens in aerospace again. So yeah, it's a branch which has got a good prospect.
Thank you, sir.
I think
Thank you
there are
once again.
there are three people who have raised their hands, Mitali.
Sir, I'm also a student and I have a few doubts regarding the transcripts and the degree that will be provided from the institute. Will the transcript be provided by VIT or the Mumbai University?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Can I take the question?
The question is that will the transcript will be provided by the VIT or Mumbai University?
Mumbai University.
Okay, and the degree also will be provided from the Mumbai University?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Even I wanted to ask a question, and I'm a student. Just wanted to ask, like, I want to pursue electronics and computer science. So, this is having equal proportion of both electronics and computer science field. So just wanted to know that it will be having more of electronics or more of computer science, or both will be in equal proportions.
I think someone from the college would be able to address it better, but I come from the industry. And see, when you are advancing in your course, when you're going in the 3rd and 4th year, you'll see there'll be a lot of elective subjects. So there are like some core subjects which you need to take and some elective subjects. And those elective subjects, you will be able to orient yourself more either as 50-50%, or you will be able to orient yourself more towards one direction.
Yes, thank you, sir. I'm Professor Sonali Borkar here. I think the student who asked the question just now from VIT, I can answer for this question. Hello, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. If you ask us about VIT, the difference between computer science and electronics and computer science, I would advise you to go on our website and check their scheme. So in a gist, I can tell you as Mr. Phansikar said, that it will be around 50-50%. And whatever you do in electronics and computer science, even you have a chance to do along with your software and hardware, you will have a chance to do a minor degree course also at VIT, where you will be doing maybe your BTech in electronics and computer science, and maybe minor degree you take up in AI or ML. Okay, if that is your interest. So yeah. So if you are really interested, maybe you can come down to the college, you can see, and even you can first check the website so that you can understand how we have mapped our syllabus with the respective branches.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Ma'am, I had one more
Thank
doubt.
you. I would like to intervene. Actually, we are running out of time. So we have already kept a seminar on 8th of July, which is in offline mode, and it is in Vidyalankar Auditorium, in the campus. So you all are invited for that seminar. Over there, you can ask your remaining questions as we are really having limited time for this particular webinar. So here I would like to thank sir and ma'am for addressing all the queries patiently. And coming to the end of this deliberation, I now request Professor Meenakshi Nandula, Department Academic Officer, First Year Engineering, BIT, to propose the vote of thanks for the event.
Thank you, Mitali. So as we come to the close of the guidance webinar on admissions 23-24, organized by Vidyalankar Institute of Technology, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. The organization of this webinar resulted from close cooperation among several individuals. First and foremost, my heartfelt thanks to the experts on the panel, Mr. Abhay Phansikar, Mrs. Harshula Dulapurkar, and Mr. Maulik Jadhav, who shared their expertise and precious time with us. A special word of thanks to our VIT alumnus, Mr. Omkar Desai, for sharing his experiences for guiding the engineering aspirants. We are grateful to the chairperson and the trustees of Vidyalankar Jnanapeeth Trust for their wonderful encouragement. We appreciate the constant support of the managing trustee, Shri Vishwas Deshpande, the director, Shri Niril Tarwalkar, our principal, Dr. Sunil Patikar, for always inspiring the team to put in our very best efforts. We are grateful to the Chief Operations Officer, Dr. Amit Oak, for being the moderator for the panel discussion. Many thanks to the Vice Principal, Chief Academic Officer, Technical Advisor, and heads of the departments for their proactive support. Thanks to Mrs. Pratibha Shetty for sharing important insights on the admission process. Thank you to all the engineering aspirants and their parents for being a wonderful, patient, and interactive audience. Special thanks to the systems team. This webinar is a team effort spearheaded by First Year Engineering in charge, Professor Sonali Borkar, and coordinated by Professor Ambadas Deshmukh. I would like to personally thank everyone who has put in tireless and meticulous efforts to make this event possible. On a parting note, I would like to share a few lines for my engineering aspirant friends who are attending this webinar. जिंदगी में ऐसी कोई भी मंजिल नहीं है जहां पहुंचने का रास्ता उपलब्ध ना हो. My friends, may you find your path and reach your goal on your engineering journey with ease. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It has indeed been a very fruitful session for all the participants who have joined from far and wide and have contributed equally to make it a success. And we hope to stay connected through such webinars and offline sessions here on. And on this note, VIT has organized another informative seminar on Saturday, 8th July at 11 a.m. in the offline mode at Vidyalankar Auditorium, Vadala. All are cordially invited for the session. I would request all to fill the feedback form by the end of this session. It has been already shared by Ambadas sir in the chat section. Thank you once again, and we hope that we could make the best of your time. Till then, stay connected and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
everyone.
invite.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.